Well, we love you, Sally. Today, my guests are Arianna Huffington, Tom Hayden, Tim Allen, and Ed Asner. We're going to be talking about, first of all, China. This is a country that has given us nothing but trouble lately. Am I right? I mean, they have a terrible human rights record. They're still communists. And I was thinking, instead of courting them, maybe we should be isolating them. You know, I mean, here's an idea. Why don't we just build a big wall around the whole country?
Since Vietnam, we only fight the easy part. Everybody up to that. Politics, the show business, wouldn't just Reagan without the stand. All the women in the world.
Sexual marriage.
I have a dream.
You need that camera. Okay. We are back, and welcome to the show, and let's meet our combatants now. First, the host of her own talk show called Critical Mass on the National Empower Network, the author of several books, including the soon-to-be-released The Fourth Instinct, Arianna Huffington. Good to see you again. You look great. Okay, a current California state senator, and he just threw his hat in the ring for governor. The Honorable Tom Hayden is here. Hey, Tom. Thanks for coming by. Nice, firm handshake for a politician. All right, now, the star of TV's #1 rated show, Home Improvement, a cable ace and People's Choice Award-winning comedian, Tim Allen is here.
Thanks for having me on.
Hey, thanks for being here. Lending some of that prime time luster. And our final guest, our returning champion, is a 7-time Emmy Award winner, 5 of which he earned for his portrayal of newsman Lou Grant, a former president of the Screen Actors Guild and the current star of the new ABC program Thunder Alley. Edward Asner is here. Wow. How you doing?
Good to see you.
Good to be seen.
How are you?
Sit down. Good to see you. All right. Now, you've all met?
No.
All right. Well, let's get right to the issues then. Because you'll meet in discussion. We don't have time for niceties here. The first thing I wanted to ask about, we did this last night, we asked about Whitewater. No one gave a rat's ass. And it bothered me, so I thought, well, let's try it with a different panel. And to me, it smells like something is wrong. It's like when something is stinking in the refrigerator and you don't know what. And then you find out it's that onion.
I don't give a rat's. I don't give a rat's ass. I swear to God.
Do you
That's
not?
what's stinking.
Well, I mean, it keeps changing the figures. It was last night on NBC News. It was 63,000. The man that allegedly started the whole process, the investor, this very weird bald man down in Arkansas, and I only believe it was 13,600 to round it off. So now
Are you
it's
talking
down
about
to
the guy who quit?
the guy that started this, that sent this to the New York Times or whatever. This man down in Arkansas with the bald head, Lex Luthor, the kind of look.
Right. Yes. Okay.
He allegedly made the loan to him, and now it's down to 13,800. You know, it's a new Hyundai. I mean, what are we talking about? Even if they made a mistake with 13 grand, it was like a stupid mistake. It wasn't like, you know, Keating, who like wrecked the country on a stupid mistake. This is a mistake 13.8. I mean, like,
well, there's another financial discrepancy. This guy who quit yesterday, Hubble, Webster Hubble, the president.
the telescope guy.
Golf.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was $1.6 billion.
The president's golfing part, right? He said he quit because of a billing problem. Apparently he wanted it starring Webster Hubble. I don't know. Arianna, yes, I'm sorry.
I think there are really two issues here. The one is the one that centered the Maher race, which is when did the president know and when did Hillary tell him?
Oh, that sounds familiar.
And the other one is if Hillary is impeached, does Al Gore become first lady?
It's easy to be glib about this. I'm certainly glad someone is here tonight. But Senator Hayden, what do you think about this? Now, this is your field. Not Canada. I don't mean you are personally involved.
Excuse me. Well, I come from a state capital where 12 people have been indicted and gone to jail in the past 10 years for crimes such as
Name them.
using your office for racketeering purposes. So I'm not going to make informed observations about Whitewater, except it does seem like that John Grisham movie, The Firm. You've seen that? Where
About a corrupt Southern law firm? Yeah.
These law firms seem to have replaced the political parties and maybe even the networks as where things happen in America, whether it's L.A. or Washington or New York. And the law firm is secretive by nature, lawyer-client privilege, right? Money comes in, influence goes out. I would urge people to concentrate on the role of law firms. No, that's not too funny.
Follow the lawyers.
But
is that what you're
follow
saying?
the lawyer.
Well, it seems odd that all those members of the law firm who went to Washington one by one, I mean, Nussbaum, he quit earlier in the week.
They're all back
Hubble,
at Rose, yeah.
Vincent Foster, and then there were 3.
I believe there's one left.
Yes, Hillary Clinton.
No.
She's probably the only one who's left. I heard today that there was an 18-and-a-half-minute gap in her workout tape. I'm kidding, and we're out of time on this. We have to take a break. When we come back, compromising with the Chinese. Warren Christopher's plan, no ticky, some washi. Number 2. When it comes to human rights, the Chinese have a checkered past. From the annexing of Tibet to the massacre in Tiananmen Square to pissing off Richard Gere on a daily basis, the leadership of China has continued to stick a thumb in America's eye. Not even the satin-smooth charm and brutal sex appeal of Warren Christopher has been able to make the Chinese cry Uncle Sam. After all their promises about reform to both Republican and Democratic administrations alike, the question still remains, will the Chinese deliver? And how long will it take to get there? Now, Ed Asner, we're being facetious about this, but I would I'd imagine you have strong feelings. You used to be head of a guild, a union, working people.
What's that got to do with China?
Well, China is a country where they use a lot of prisoners to make things, and that seems to upset a lot of people here in this country. And the Republican view, which I assume you do not take, would be that we should do business with them because you get more, catch more flies with honey than vinegar.
Well, I think business is swaying national governments all over the world with that philosophy. It seems to be in vogue right now. The passage of NAFTA is certainly the GATT talks and successes with GATT. I think you know, the Whitewater thing, the China thing. I think that it's we've got a lot of slow news days. It takes our mind off Sarajevo. And
you are all over the map on this one, quite literally. But let me hone in on this again. The most favored nation treaty with China is up in June, and Clinton is saying that if they don't come around on human rights, we're going to revoke that. And Warren Christopher went over there this week, and they put people in prison as he was on his way. To me, this is a slap in the face. This is like your parents are coming over and you leave the bong out.
to use a Chinese
I know what you
term.
mean. You spill that bong, boy, you can't clean that carpet. You got to replace the house.
We don't want to get into your personal past, but listen.
Let Ed finish this. I'd
like to.
Okay. So what do you think we should do?
I think we should cool it.
How very inscrutable of you.
I think that if we pass up the opportunity to maintain open lines of communication, open lines of diplomacy, and give and take, and become a little too forceful in our terms, be granted for the great idea of human rights, I think we'll regret it, because
Wow,
I think there are too many other people standing in line to fill in our gap.
Wow, and they have the gap over there now. But that surprised me, because that is a conservative Republican position.
I don't think so.
Arianna, isn't that a conservative Republican?
Well, first of all, there really isn't any discussion, because it's clear that Clinton is going to extend, and the Congress is going to extend the most favored nation clause. And I think what is really shameless is the way Clinton is using the human rights rhetoric without intending to do anything about it. And Warren Christopher himself was talking about the need to talk about generic human rights, but not specific human rights, whatever that may be. Translation, we want to talk about human rights but do nothing about it, which is really the usual cynicism that Clinton has displayed, which compares very differently to what he did during the campaign when he was attacking Bush for being soft on China.
You two have actually switched bodies, haven't you? Which is really a loss for you. All right. When we come back, Los Angeles is so corrupt, even the mafia has mob connections. Not if you want to talk about it tomorrow. Okay, as we left, we were discussing a very important issue about China, and I was just finishing up the joke where the guy says, 69, no, too late for beef with broccoli. But there is a serious issue, and some of our panelists didn't get to say all they wanted to. Tom, we didn't get to you on this.
Well, I didn't follow the part about bongs being made by slave labor camps.
That was
but
you were with the Chicago 7. Don't pretend you don't know what a bong is.
If you'd been more if you'd been more conscious at the time, you would know it wouldn't have been 8. It was actually 8. But I was very moved by the Chinese students. Many of them are in California. The ones we saw also at Tiananmen Square. And with all respect to my friend Ed, I think that we should make human rights a cornerstone of American foreign policy, and I hope that the President does it. I've written Warren Christopher in that hope this week with a number of other people. I just don't get it. In the 60s and 70s, or 50s and 60s, I guess, everything looked different. Now, if I say I'm for human rights in China and democracy in China, and somebody says, no, you can't be, that's communism. I say, no, I'm being anti-communist. I say, I don't care what kind of communist you are. I've actually had this kind of discussion with people where they can't seem to make the shift and understand that the idea of a free market somehow peacefully overcoming tanks and the machinery of this government, it's not going to work. The free market's going to be diminished into this little market you described, where we hire teenage girls for 12 cents an hour to make the clothes that we're wearing in the computer assemblies.
That's what we would like to believe is that democracy has to come first before prosperity. But let's be honest, in China,
prosperity.
In China, it is a communist nation, and yet they are leading Asia. They are the ones whose economy is overheated.
It's just human.
How does that work?
Human rights should be a universal notion apart from whatever kind of system you live under.
And
to say,
Tim Allen, the floor recognized.
I'm not sure that China's overheating. I think it's actually Taiwan, Korea. They're overheating.
No, I'm talking about China. I'm talking about communist China.
It's sheer mass because of what they can do. But again, if you forgive me, it's as I say, my wife and I talked about. Forget the reference. It's seat up or seat down. You know, whether women say the seat should be down, men say it should be up.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The Chinese do not want politics attached to business. They find it very repugnant.
Dictators never do. I mean, that's why
but we do. It's just as repugnant to us to not have that attached and have us kowtow to their point of view. Says, well, in the Oriental view or the Asian view or the Chinese view, these two are mutually exclusive. They are not the same.
What about the Olympics? Do you think they should have gotten the Olympics?
No, I agree. There was somewhere between 5,000 and 50,000 people murdered in the square, and of course they rewrite history because they have a different calendar. It's a dragon one year, it's a cat next year. So they could, I think. according to their calendar, they won World War II, according to their calendar. I mean, it was a whole different thing. Because if they can rewrite history and make it not happen, if they can make things not happen, it's a very dangerous place to do business with, to deal with, unless they,
I think first
and the
of all,
leader's name is Dung.
we should make...
We should just ignore them.
Don't ignore them, but don't give them business.
Why don't we make Richard
do business
Gere...
with somebody else.
They will have plenty of places and people.
They can sell Yugos from Yugoslavia. They can take the Baltic countries, do whatever they can, but don't play both sides. But some at least account for how many people were murdered in that square. Now it's down to 300 actually were hit with sticks or a rock. There was a lot of people murdered in that square, and they've now absolutely rewritten history that did not happen. This is not an intelligent way to go about life.
But why focus on China? Why focus on China with that particular, whether it be 5,000 or 50,000? There are unbelievable number of places throughout the world, and I helped you evoke a laugh earlier with Sarajevo.
Yes.
Look what the cost has been there, and where have we stood there in terms of human rights?
But we have something specific that's coming up here in June, and this is the most favored nation status. And the question is, what are we going to do about it? And the other question is the hypocrisy of the president. At least he should stop talking about human rights if he's not prepared to do anything about it. And he should send Richard Gere to be the ambassador to China. And that... at least should upset the Chinese enough. I mean, first of all, their president talks as though he's reading a fortune cookie all the time.
I hate to cut this off, but I want to get to the next issue, and I want to find out what you feel about that big Buttmaster scandal. No, when we come back, we're going to talk about police in Los Angeles, which we were going to do last time, but we put it off.
10010.
Okay, our final issue. These days, both liberals and conservatives agree that crime could be reduced if there were more cops on the street to put more criminals in jail. It's just that the liberals think the jails should have cable. And on those special occasions, when we actually do increase police presence during the Olympics, after jury verdicts, or when the Chicago Bulls close in on a championship, crime drops precipitously. Now, we can't afford such a show of force all the time, but couldn't we swing it every once in a while? Like the pop quiz that always caught you off guard in school. Wouldn't the productive fear put into us every once in a while beat the continual fear that we all live in now? Tom Hayden.
What? I agree with everything you said.
No, you don't.
No, we need more police on the streets. We should have a police corps where you give college scholarships to students who then join the force for 3 years. Warren Christopher, who was mentioned in the last segment, is linked here because he sponsored these very good community-based police reforms that the voters supported in 1992 here, which try to take the police away from centralized on top of everything to neighborhood-based police. I think it's working, beginning to work pretty well in Los Angeles.
But I'm saying a lot of police.
Now, on this other point... No,
you know
no.
But it works.
No, it doesn't work. The reason that...
There's no crime.
Excuse me, in the first day of the earthquake, first 24 hours, no crime.
Right.
It's not because there were more police on the streets. It's because something caught people up.
Criminals.
No, it's because people get caught up in something larger temporarily. You can't afford it. You don't need...
earthquakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. More natural disasters. Asteroids, meteor showers.
It wasn't...
All right, well, I think the disaster around here is that we're out of time. And
We was robbed.
we were come back another night.
Where's a cop when you need one?
Listen, we're live. So I have to thank my guests, Arianna Huffington, Tom Hayden, Tim Allen, and Edward Asner. Thanks. See you next time.